wait a minute. Is it just Paimon or is it kinda great? Let's go find out what this Tatara soon.
Alright, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial if only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about her, this seems like the kind of thing she'd know about.
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploit. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion.
Oh, Sawada, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are... Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many...
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over...
My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge.
If you don't mind, I'd
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive?
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourself.
Let me give you some background. This all started with the... But in the end, he threw it into... Apart from the swordmaker, his servant...
That's right. Akaba's teacher...
So first this strange person goes
Yes, my thoughts exactly.
Stop shouting!
This part's important. It just so happens, even back then, Tatara Suna was already...
Wait, so there are 2 missing people in the...
That's right! What's more,
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like...
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. Something then seems to have...
Kinda hard.
Sawada, you left out the...
Oh, yes, of course!
Get to the point. For
According to information acquired by...
A puppet?
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something.
No. Paimon just meant...
I agree, it does. But consider...
Oh, and please read my... Sawada was encouraging me to... Oh, how about if I...
Wait, you're allowed to just make...
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. Besides, if there really was a political...
Good point. Okay.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for...
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about...
Hey, so that thing... Okay, then even if we did know something, after all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many... Ah! Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like... The Balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see. Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Nahida! Bad news. We just saw the Balladeer strolling around in public. Did he escape or... Ah! It's him!
Sure enough.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surasthana? Aren't you supposed to be...
I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the Balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do...
A deal? Huh.
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was...
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please...
But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us.
As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the ballad...
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you. Considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. The Balladier's power was all but completely spent after your battle. Plus, he's a former harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck.
Wait a second. Farmer? You mean...
I take no pleasure in saying this.
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way, so as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, what?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're...
Yeah, obviously! Nahida...
Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how...
All right, then I'll do what we agree.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch.
Nahida, are you serious about this?
Yes. I have my reasons for this decision, yes. As I told you
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the...
You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui... It's possible that the Fatui have other He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders.
Exactly! Or what if... Paimon just doesn't trust him!
I understand. But sometimes, how things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. Our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved as Sumeru's deity. It is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. But if this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it. It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero.
Paimon's still worried about...
I was going to contact you about that. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the battle, even though he only has a fraction of his full power left. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul. Great. Thank you. Prepare yourselves.
Wow. It looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at...
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be...
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on...
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. It is an environment like no other, unlike anywhere else. Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm.
Fine. Let's call it truce.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are gonna be trapped. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way.
You sure are confident.
If there are no further objections, or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure.
Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him. Wow. So this is the Ooh. Paimon's never seen anything like.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Every bit of information. Pick your jaws up off the floor.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't.
Hey, so say we did go running off in here. What would happen? What are you smirking at?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion. Anything's possible in here. You can't.
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge tree!
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive.
The Balladier's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay alive.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all,
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk? Yes, I've also invited Paimon.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our head?
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while.
Paimon's never tried this before. So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladier's a bit...
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has... Perhaps today will be the day that he... Well done. Smart and attentive. So, you make interact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into...
Paimon thought nothing could get him.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident.
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono...
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like luck.
Oh? How interesting.
So the Gese got it right?
Well, they guessed right about...
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen.
What makes you...
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation. Of course you do. You can't...
So...
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait! How did you know about that? Didn't Ahita tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself and making cordial conversation. Huh?
This light. It looks similar...
Anonymous data.
Hey! Don't you forget the agreement! You...
Shh! Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatarasuna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so?
It's...
Whoa!
I have been in Tatarasuna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has under your leadership. Tatarasuna is a warm, welcoming place. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for the forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material, skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into the...
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, you allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you... Even now, you remain one of
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was...
So you say, Escher.
My good sir.
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want... What have we gained from adopting your new tech... And recently, none of the people who went out to get help have come back. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher?
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed...
After all, Nagamasa... Why, Mr. Niwa, are you...
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside... I'm in charge here.
Judging from the look in your eyes...
Drop the act! We're past that now. Whoever you are, I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have...
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this.
You...
You're a little... I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well. It's a long journey from Ina's... And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity.
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace.
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not...
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll...
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a... If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui Harbinger, called
The Fatui?
just to create a minor inconvenience.
That's it. That's why you...
Look how even the righteous so. My device functions precise. It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirit. Make no mistake, even without you.
He has nothing to prove to anyone.
What a beautiful way to see the world. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? Mr. Niwa? Oh. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating in. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful.
Hey, are you alright?
Dottore. Good.
Was that the doctor? But why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his...
Maybe so. But it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to... You know very well what that means. Even more so...
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was...
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. So now you have the complete picture. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the ballad after the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected me. What's in it?" The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift." He said it's the one thing that the mechanic removed the withered heart from the device. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold blood. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow,
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything...
yes. Only if he understands this.
Dottore, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your... It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, aren't you investigating the stuff we want to...
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in our...
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from...
Oh, Does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that
Huh? About...
the reason why there are records about your brother in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was his first destination. Plus, he only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your brother for a time. I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say, did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul.
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of it, I shared a secret with you. And now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me. Give me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside your head? No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible? Done.
Huh? What the? What happened?
Nothing. I was just thanking her for helping me. So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything...
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing, but if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be...
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta find him somehow. Oh no, he's...
Oh, can you hear me?
Nihida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now?
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his ability?
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault. We were supposed to keep an eye on...
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, we're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as...
We're out! And we're at... an inn or something?
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with. Leave this one to me.
An emergency? How bad is it?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbance.
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really... He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible! Right! You can't just rewrite history! All that stuff happened It's like... Imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. So... what? Paimon's so confused. Huh? Ah! Sorry. Paimon accidentally... But erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really... Uh-oh. Paimon's head is over... Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing... There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But, so, how about... alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Andrean chili chicken, almond tofu, satisfying salad? Also, Adeptus Temptation. What do we... Paimon was, talking? Huh. Is that a food too? What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something So, the Balladeer. Is that someone's name? Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this is an emergency.
Futile!
We've made it to Amanoma Smithy!
Ah, it's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. No. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. Amenoma, Futsu, Ishin, Hyakume, and Senju. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans was first taught to them personally by the Almighty. Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline, and for a long time, only the Amenoma branch kept its art. But fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned to Inazuma, and if my memory serves me right,
Oh yeah, we were! learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then, too.
That, my friends, in fact, this was not... He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokuden, it was right that I should know the truth. There is no harm in telling you, but I must warn you. It is a dark and sorrow. The Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage.
Vengeful? Why?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, and overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa, though he had family ties to the Kaedehara clan. Knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The furnace quickly stabilized, but neither of them made it out. The smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphaned son was left to fend for himself, and grew up deeply resentful at the world. In his heart, the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated the almighty shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's death, and he hated everyone who had done nothing to try and save him. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. Generation after generation bore this grudge, living in utter misery. Alas, if only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, the then head of this family reached the end of his wits. He could bear their fate no longer, and yet he could do nothing to change it. Finally, he made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden. In doing so, he sought to vent his pent up anger and shake the very foundations of Inazuma's forging industry. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan which he belonged to. His goal was absolute, the devastation of all of the Raiden Gokuden. But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares. They fought back fiercely, and they did not spare his life. That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day. I suppose they were the lucky ones, under the dire circumstances.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact. We spoke for a while over some tea. He seemed well. My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? Your expression says it all. You can't hide anything from Paimon. On to the next stop. Lead the way, traveler. Paimon will be right behind you.
This is the Yashiro Commission's headquarters.
Traveler,
It's been a while. If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid your timing is unfortunate. They're not here right now.
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the...
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But seeing as you're so close with the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I think it should be okay.
We'll be heading in then.
Hello, dears. Is there something you... Of course, traveler. Yes, I know you. What would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather busy attending all. As for the Commissioner himself, well, you know, busy as ever. That much hasn't changed. Although, he does seem to be in a rather good mood these days.
So pretty much business as usual on the Yashiro Commission, huh?
Very much so.
Well, got any more questions?
You're very welcome. In fact, I would love nothing more than for you. Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so thrilled to have you as a friend, and she's always saying how talented you are, and I must say, many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the better since you arrived here. So you're not just Miss Kamisato's knight in shining armor, you know. You're a hero to us all. I mean it. Whenever the Commissioner dines at home, Toma always joins him. I always find myself at my most relaxed when I'm serving the two of them. The Commissioner has such a busy schedule that he doesn't always have the chance to take it. They say it's because Toma's a much better chef than most. They get to talking about you sometimes, too. Miss Kamisato occasionally joins them as well. It's been many years now since the late Mr. and Mrs. Kamisato passed away. As someone who is old and gray enough to have watched their son and daughter grow up, so in the future, if you ever do have the time, please know you are always very welcome at the Yashiro. Wonderful.
Paimon likes it here too! Also, Paimon's itching to try it. We may just have to invite ourselves around for...
Of course.
Alright, goodbye for now! We're great! Goodbye, ma'am! Don't worry, we'll see ourselves out!
All right, then.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep, everything's taken care of now. Don't worry.
Very well. Safe travels.
Well, here we are. But what are we...
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that the Traveler and Paimon?
Xavier? What are you doing here?
I was in the general area, and now I'm in this.
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away. Like the back of my hand? Make no mistake. Not only that, but I've met people in... Oh, well, it's a long story, don't you know? The tale of Tatarasuna starts a long time ago. I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation.
A couple? When exactly?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several. They say he was a mechanic who consulted...
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier?
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history lesson.
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one today.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a... Sure, go ahead. A kabuki mono? No, I can't say that I do know the word. Inazuman for those eccentric types who always go around, but sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across... Of course! Don't mention it.
Oh, we're leaving? Okay, bye, Xavier.
Oh, you're most welcome. Farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. No matter what happens, Paimon, come on. You gotta keep it together. Why don't you grab something to eat? All right, let's head off and go.
Nowhere to run! Hey, it's them!
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join us once more.
We have time. What do you want to talk to us about?
It's the same topic we discussed last time. Obviously.
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh? Should we do...
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress. Huh? Oh, of course.
I presume you'll want to read mine as well. Here.
Well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler. Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could...
What did you find out? Something...
It's a long story. Basically, we have some...
Wow. So many new details.
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. Ugh. So there's no ghost...
This new information actually lends further credence...
Yes, okay, point taken, you were...
And they're back at it. These guys are...
Oh, so sorry. Look at us, prattling on about our projects and ignoring you.
You're welcome. See ya.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do.
Futile!
start. Paimon hasn't had a
The Balladeer? It sounds like some kind of code. You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell me? Traveler?
Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset.
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul. Oh,
but how was he even able?
As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine afterward. Nevertheless, it does make sense.
So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him because...
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do that. The Traveler comes from a world beyond to that. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten...
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this Balladeer guy's...
I can only make inferences based on the... Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died, right? Once the Balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, he couldn't keep hating humans after that. The story makes sense. The Balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the Doctor's help. He was that power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase himself. Even though he didn't have...
Yeah, it does make sense, but it still ended in It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but it seems like he got nothing in return.
Please wait a moment. I want to check... Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming...
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look.
Is this a fairy tale?
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote it?
When combined with the Traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory.
Hold on. So this record survived from the...
Yes. Any information about the Balladeer or the Kabuki Mono and other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means it was left. Changing the information in Irminsul changes to that, but Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this.
That's incredible! What a
And sending the Traveler into Irminsul with the Balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew she'd remember. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in Irminsul. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one she told us. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet... But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree, who had been abandoned by the human. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender, and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals... A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the..." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the..." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had... The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly. How it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, then it would finally be peaceful and content. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were different.
We solved it!
I remember now. This is not just the balladeer's story. It is his verb to become a god. He was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture. This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to... I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us some more. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completed...
The balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and although he was unsuccessful, he still helped. Before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail. That Conria was where your twin first came. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood...
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around. But still, Paimon doesn't like the way it all ended that much better.
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, so the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth, and then conquer the... When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to others looking on. This may seem like a pointless endeavor. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with and that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Nahita's right. Cheer up. How about we go...
Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take...
You got it. Come on, Traveler. You need to get out of your head for a while. Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar. That'll be sure to lift our spirits. It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that. But Paimon's always here to help cheer you up. What should we eat first? Hey, are you gonna answer or what? Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff. What is it? Have you figured it all out? Why'd you jump up all of a sudden?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look, here.
Hey! Hey, wait!
Hmm? You mean me?
No, not you. That kid! Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my last... Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting.
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you don't want any money for helping out here, and then when I actually give you some work to do, you keep, I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep...
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything. I'm just so thankful you agreed to take...
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about.
Leave it to me. I'll find some more. Just a moment. I'll be right back.
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, I got You don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around, taking in the sights.
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First, let me get those fruits you needed.
Hey, what do we do now? Okay, stay out of sight. Don't let him see you.
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Stealing his son's... Oh, all right.
This should be enough. Guess I should wash them before I take them back. Huh? You two over there. Is there something I...
He spotted us!
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice. Have we met before? No, we haven't met. But you know me? I have no recollection.
Are you absolutely...
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
A puppet? What makes you think that?
Huh?
You were right! The look on his face!
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure... Okay, but please let me deliver these goods.
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want any more for it.
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm, and he let me take shelter in his cart. In return, I said I'd be his help.
That's oddly nice of you.
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you, okay?
Then let's return to the city.
Surrender!
Here you go, boss. I'll leave them right here.
Oh, you really went and picked some more.
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss. I'm afraid I'll be away from the...
I was just about to pay you anyway. Go wherever you want, kid. Don't...
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. Even then, I don't understand. But look, it was pouring down, and there you were. So imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right? But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it. Certainly not all this.
But I don't... No. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye. Thank you again for taking me into the city.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of...
Thank you. All right, done. Thanks for...
Futile!
What's wrong? Huh? you?
Hello. I do apologize for the sudden intrusion.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything. So, yeah, quite an event.
You say that you are trekking across Teyvat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe the—
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots. But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... this is a difficult one to explain. I don't like to rely on using terms like this often, but in your case...
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes, something far more distant than the past. So...
Okay, I have to ask. Oh, okay. You want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence in my... If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be, but I'll be able to handle it. Please, tell me the truth.
Is truth something you care a lot about?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you nearly died because of what other people did. And many died because of you. As a non-human being, you hated gods and humans alike. You drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You adamantly believed that you were missing a heart. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes, you have to let parts of yourself go, or you'll...
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history.
In terms of the outcome alone, that's...
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time, a chain of cause and effect.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong. And yet, dichotomies like this are not...
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but... yeah, we weren't your biggest fans.
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's just some random stranger we met on the street! He's got so much to answer for, but we can't make him talk because he...
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust that everything you told me must be true.
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you...
Please, I want to see them for myself.
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world...
Very well. As you wish.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's kind of on us for bringing him here.
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face...
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Oh, good point.
Understood.
Thank you.
This looks like Inazuma.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information extracted from your memories. These memories will show you the raw truth, but be aware that enemies may react just like in...
Sounds like an immersive experience. It's a good thing we came along.
You don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve your protection.
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
All right. Thanks.
Wanderer, this is the Hikaye Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation, This is where the...
Is that because this is kind of like...
You could say that, in a sense.
I hear footsteps. This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. I wonder who built it. No, there's no way. Look at this exquisite construction. There's someone passed out on the ground. Who are you? You're awake. What happened? How'd you get stuck here? Not a scratch.
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the balladeer in Shake Pavilion.
And the rest is history. Well,
in the original version of events, Katsuragi...
Let me get you out of here. Our people are nearby. Hang in there.
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor, disguised as a mechanic. As the second-in-command at Tatarasuna, but Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his...
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life? Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabuki Mono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
Surrender!
Whoa, this is where you were born? It's pretty.
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first, but there's nothing for us here.
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died. And then my dad he kept coughing all the time, just like me. Then Mom started...
But you can't. You promised me.
Yup, we're family now. We're gonna be together.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the balladeer didn't know what to call him. His father died before he could name him. After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. Some of the neighbors helped to raise him. After leaving Tatarasuna, the balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like him. They made a promise to live together.
What happened to the child then?
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer came home one day and found that he had stopped breathing.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no different from Niwa and all the others. You betrayed me too. The voices have gone. It looks like the memory ends here.
Let's keep going.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One that could be wielded with an iron will. Or you could continue to drift aimlessly.
Are you trying to win me over?
The long-fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
Surrender this first!
Through me, justice is served. You stand condemned. Your penance is due.
Let's end this quickly.
You stand condemned. Guilty. Futile.
Use this first.
Give up.
Nowhere to run.
That seemed to work.
Surrender.
I must counterattack.
Nowhere to run.
Finally, so quiet. Come at me.
With sword comes shadow.
You
Speed
can't
of
run.
light.
Well, time to
Judgment
fulfill
is
my
upon me. The penance is due.
This time will break and be a killjoy.
We've only just been used to it.
Not breaking a sweat now. This
Guilty.
My duty at an end.
Your penance is due.
This place is dark.
Paimon knows this place. It's the delusion factory in Inazuma.
In the original version of events, the Traveler once encountered the Balladeer here.
Such a creepy atmosphere. Hey, look over there!
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
Huh. What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but you are a part of this plan. Perhaps you find fighting in the abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course, even this pales in comparison to being experimented on by the doctor.
What a sharp tongue you have. Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to yourself.
Save your breath. I know what I have to do.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible, and don't let your emotions get in the way.
Surely you're not worried about me.
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, being tossed out like trash, must make you want to... Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering the consequences now. Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little tongue of yours a... Bye then. See you at the victory feast.
Poor little tongue? Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now. I should prepare to give them a warm welcome.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come. Wander.
Yes. Please don't worry about me.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results in your own interest. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Don't blink! I'll be fine.
Futa! Surrender!
There you are. Winter. Adventure. Let me amuse myself. With sword comes shadow. Incoming.
Through me, justice is served. They stand condemned. Come at me again.
Nice and spicy. Don't blink. Cut to the chase. Boba, get them. You really know how to get me going. Don't blink. Speed of light. The merrier. Out of the frying pan, into the fire. Nowhere to hide.
Can't run from death.
Over here. Blink. Let me amuse myself a little. Goba, get them! Incoming! Blink! With sword comes shadow. Blink! The more resistance shine no longer. Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru. Is that?
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment.
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a trivial affair.
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible. In the event that a successful connection is established.
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further—
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they'd think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your—
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not make—
The doctor again? That was uncomfortable to watch.
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Paimon.
Let's move on.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you.
In your eyes, are there any differences between humans and pups?
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnate? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost, cried with grief, howled with rage at the tragedy of death that eclipses the miracle of life.
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to no matter the consequences. I won't run from blame or punishment. Can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean you'll lose your current identity?
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules. As a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject to the same rule.
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. Are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with a void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, I've just dripped, but then I met you. And I finally realized that I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. So I beg you, grant me this opportunity to gain a purpose.
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return to you that which... You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Is he alright?
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end. This is trying my patience.
Have you got all your memories back now?
Feeble human!
Squall Fury! The wind rises. At my command, you shall fall!
Know your place! Perish!
Squall Fury! That's far enough!
My endless cycle begins!
The wind rises. Squall Fury.
Insignificant
bow your head. Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
It disappeared. Did we win?
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too. What have you got to be smug about?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am. You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know the truth.
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has served its purpose.
Come on. Let's continue.
Welcome back, Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer.
It feels like we just went on a really long journey. Paimon's exhausted.
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should... After learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using it. I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui. And they wouldn't take me back anyway.
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless. At least I made a lot of people forget about me.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and understand that. Changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people, these are not simple things to accomplish. What you are looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed. How ridiculous.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth regretting. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't you?
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquired.
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan. But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you...
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again... Oh right, I almost forgot. You're the good guys. You're into justice and all that. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that way. Traveler, in the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more, including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before and after that point? I want to know as well. I will try.
Traveler. After I dove into the information torrents in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how? Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor, and I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day. Don't you worry.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be reset to zero. I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. There is no such thing as balancing the books. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed, which is why there is everything that you feel is real and lasting, and whatever is missing in you will not be made whole. To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be human.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway, I gave up trying to become a human a long time ago.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. You're just the past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until one day, it is but a tiny fraction of your life.
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start, but the most important thing now is that you...
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate?
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick an ugly nickname for you, too!
Why?
Because Paimon still doesn't like you that much.
Then I hope we don't see much of each other in the future.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
No! Paimon only does nicknames! If it's a serious name you're after...
Have you got anything? Are you sure? Oh, alright. If you say so.
There! Now you have a name of—
What about a nickname? Are you done yet? Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've— Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to pay the price.
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor, at least.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly. But it won't be immediate. You still need some time to compose—
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know about the connection between Raiden Gokuden and myself. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible. Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know the truth.
I see. That is up to you.
Huh? But if we do that, then...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my No nonsense. I like it. Alright, let's call it a day. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire—
Yeah, true. But even so we can finally go eat? Paimon is—
Thank you both. I hope you will find somewhere—
I've got it! I can end my novel with some words.
You mean because everyone else in this...
Yeah! I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa died. The dark clouds had dissipated. Then, one night, as an old man, all these expressions of joy melt. Life is a story too long.
What's happening?
It's about time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing. Wow, great! Huh? Look at that vase. Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? Like, Paimon...
You sound lost and confused. I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind overwhelmed.
Huh? Is there someone here talking to us?
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. Perhaps a god may have a slip. When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway, it is not displaced. The same is true of fate, like a vase that falls to the ground, whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird.
Who are you? How do you know about all this?
History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you see is...
The voice has disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what were they doing coming out of nowhere? Anyway, that face is still lying there broken on the ground. It feels wrong just leaving it there. Just a moment. Paimon will be...